Imagine this: you grow up in an environment that lacks true affection, where love is conditional, and your individuality is seen as a threat rather than a gift. You learn to navigate this landscape by appeasing the needs of a demanding mother, sacrificing your autonomy just to keep the peace. For many men, this isn't a hypothetical scenario but an enduring reality. Raised by a narcissistic mother, they struggle in adulthood with intimacy, self-worth, and defining who they truly are. It is a heavy burden to carry, but there is a way to lighten that load. And it is here that Stoicism, a philosophy grounded in resilience and inner strength, offers a way out. Stoicism isn't about denying emotion or becoming numb to pain. Rather, it is about understanding what is within your control and letting go of the rest. To the son of a narcissistic mother, this idea is revolutionary. For years, perhaps decades, you've been conditioned to believe that your worth is defined by how well you please others. You've learned to sacrifice your boundaries for the sake of maintaining harmony, yet that harmony always feels fleeting and fragile. A Stoic approach reminds you that the chaos your mother created in your life is not something you can control, but how you respond to it, how you rebuild yourself from it, that is within your power. The first lesson that Stoicism offers is the concept of dichotomy of control. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, reminds us that some things are within our power, and others are not. For the sons of narcissistic mothers, this is essential wisdom. You cannot control how your mother treated you, the hurtful words she said, or the manipulation she used to keep you feeling small. But you can control your response now. You can control your thoughts, your actions, and most importantly, the values you choose to live by. Imagine the power of deciding for yourself, for the first time, what kind of man you want to be, not the kind of man you were conditioned to become. Stoicism also teaches us the importance of cultivating virtue. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, is not about moral perfection, it is about living in accordance with your true self and nature. The narcissistic mother, in her self-centered world, has often denied her child the ability to develop an authentic sense of self. The path of virtue for the son of a narcissistic mother means reclaiming that right. It means setting boundaries and knowing that saying no does not make you a bad person, it makes you an autonomous one. The Stoics emphasized courage, and there is no greater act of courage for someone in this situation than to assert their own needs and to honor their own boundaries. Another crucial aspect of Stoicism that aligns with the experience of sons of narcissistic mothers is the concept of apatheia, not to be confused with apathy, but rather a state of being undisturbed by external events. Narcissistic mothers are experts at emotional turmoil. They thrive on creating a sense of crisis, on making their children feel perpetually on edge. Stoicism encourages a different way of being. It asks you to cultivate inner calm, to anchor yourself so firmly in your own values that the storms of another's manipulation can no longer sway you. This doesn't mean ignoring emotions or pretending they don't exist, it means recognizing them, accepting them, and choosing not to let them dictate your actions. A son of a narcissistic mother might struggle with feelings of unworthiness and a deep-seated need for validation. Narcissists are adept at making others feel inadequate, constantly demanding proof of devotion while never providing the same in return. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's this internal strength that allows you to break free from the need for external validation. You no longer need to earn love by diminishing yourself. Instead, you focus on cultivating self-love and on acting in a way that aligns with your values, rather than someone else's shifting demands. It's also worth noting that Stoicism emphasizes self-discipline. Sons of narcissistic mothers often develop codependent behaviors, always putting others first, neglecting their own needs, and losing their sense of identity. Stoicism encourages you to take control of your life through discipline, establishing routines that nurture your well-being, practicing mindfulness, and focusing on self-improvement. In a world that taught you that your needs don't matter, Stoicism gives you permission to place yourself at the center of your own life. It reminds you that true strength comes from the inside, not from the approval of a mother who could never truly see you for who you are. The Stoics also spoke often of memento mori, the practice of remembering our mortality as a way of sharpening our focus on what truly matters. For the son of a narcissistic mother, this can be an important tool. It is a reminder that life is fleeting and that the time you spend seeking your mother's approval or letting her emotional abuse dictate your choices is time you will never get back. It prompts you to ask, what kind of life do you want to live? A life spent trying to appease someone whose approval is impossible to win, or a life where you make choices based on your own values, embracing the present moment and the potential it holds? To be raised by a narcissistic mother is to be enmeshed in a web of confusion about love, worth, and identity. Stoicism offers a way to cut through that web. It teaches you that you are not defined by someone else's manipulation, that your worth is inherent, and that your power lies in how you choose to respond to the challenges life presents. By embracing Stoic principles, you begin to see that the love you seek is already within you, and that the validation you need comes from living a life of virtue, not from bending to the will of someone else. In relationships, Stoicism provides a guide for navigating intimacy without losing oneself. Narcissistic parenting often leads to codependency, where the child's sense of self is fused with the desires of others. The Stoic approach, however, is to maintain one's individuality while fostering a connection. Love, according to Stoic thought, should be based on mutual respect and understanding, not on control or manipulation. This perspective allows you to be present in a relationship without losing sight of your values or compromising your boundaries. For those partners who are with sons of narcissistic mothers, understanding Stoicism can also be incredibly helpful. It provides insight into why your partner might struggle with boundaries, why they might feel an overwhelming need to please, or why they fear intimacy despite craving it. Stoicism encourages compassion, but it also emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility. While you can support your partner, their journey to healing is ultimately their own. Your role is not to save them but to encourage them to develop the inner strength they need to save themselves. The path from being the son of a narcissistic mother to becoming an autonomous individual is not an easy one. It requires self-reflection, courage, and a willingness to confront the uncomfortable truths about your past. Stoicism does not promise that this journey will be painless, but it does promise that it will be meaningful. It reminds you that every day is an opportunity to practice virtue, to grow in resilience, and to move closer to the person you were always meant to be, free from the shadows of the past, standing firmly in the light of your own truth. Reflection questions. How does the concept of the dichotomy of control apply to your relationship with your mother or past relationships? In what ways have you sacrificed your boundaries for the sake of harmony, and how can you begin to reclaim them? What virtues do you want to cultivate in your life, and how can these help you heal from the effects of narcissistic parenting? How can the Stoic practice of memento mori help you put your experiences with a narcissistic mother into perspective? What steps can you take today to move toward self-discipline and away from codependent behaviors? Embrace the power within you, take control of your life, and remember, true strength comes not from appeasing others, but from standing in alignment with your own values and principles.